Welcome. Hey, John.
Oh, hi, Todd.
Hey. Here with John Watkins. John is a fellow performer, business owner in Florida. John has done an incredible amount of research and networking to find us answers to resources to keep us in business during this pandemic. So neither John or I are professional lawyers, accountants, tax specialists. These are resources that we're actively chasing down to help keep our business running. And there's a lot of money out there, and everybody in our community should definitely get a piece of it.
So, long story long on this one here, it has a streamlined process. This took me about 7 minutes to run through. I was able to apply. I applied for up to $10,000. Again, you're going to have to check this out for yourself. But what I've been hearing, being on some boards of charities and such, is that you're going to, as long as you can say yes to all of these items that Todd is showing you, as long you qualify, and most of us qualify. The reason that you want to take a look at this is you don't need to have your tax returns for this. You mainly need to be able to show what it cost you to run your business last year. So for me, let's just pretend that it cost me $20,000 to run my business last year, and 10,000 of that was balloon supplies, magic supplies, backdrops, and materials. Well, that's what I'm going to be answering in the quiz. You're going to click continue. You're going to go through that, and it's going to ask you to fill in the blanks. And most of it's just your name, your address. It's going to ask you what is the routing number and your bank account, so that they can put that money in there if you qualify for the loan or if you qualify for the grant. If you're awarded the loan or awarded the grant. They're going to talk to your bank for you. They're going to do everything for you so that the money gets direct deposited into your account if you qualify and if you are selected. So again, the only thing you're going to need is your EIN number. That's if you are registered a business, which you should all have. And then also,
or you can use your social security number.
Yep.
Yeah.
EIN number or your social security number. But if you have both, you want to put them both in. It helps you a lot on taxes and all that other stuff, plus qualifying for loans in the future. It helps with a lot of things for you. So EIN number, you're going to need that, or your social security number, your bank account number, and your routing number. And then you're going to need an estimation of how much it cost you to run your business last year. That's all you need. Then you need your address, your name. That's pretty much it. You apply for the loan. It goes through. They're going to tell you via email whether you're approved or not. You can apply for more than $10,000, and that's up to you. I personally, to help run my business, applied for $10,000. The reason I did that is that right now, and again, you need to check this for yourself, but right now, up to $10,000 is forgivable after 2 years. Again, you need to check this for yourself. Which means that as long as you can show that you used the $10,000 just for running your business, you didn't buy jet skis unless you run a jet ski business. If you can show that you use this for your business after 2 years, it may be forgiven. So if you're in need, this is definitely one way you want to go. You want to try this out. You do want to talk to your accountant. You might want to talk to a lawyer, or make up the decision for yourself. I personally did this, and I'm recommending it to my friends that they take a look and make the decision. This is 7 minutes, and it's a possibility to get a loan to get your business through so that you don't collapse and so that you don't lose employees, and that you are ready. Because once everything starts up again, if you have money and you are ready, you're going to be the one to capture the market. So that's why It's important that you get these resources, because they're available to you. So Todd, our next one that we're looking at, which one was that?
Let's talk about the artist relief
Okay,
grant.
awesome. Yeah. Okay. So our Americans for the Arts, AmericansForTheArts.org is a great organization that I happen to participate in.
Oh, this is artistrelief.org.
Yep. We can stay on artistrelief.org.
Great.
That's their website for facilitating grants. The actual organization is AmericansForTheArts.org. org. So that's americansforthearts.org.
So the important thing to know is that if you look over at the FAQ, performing artists do qualify. I'm going to scroll down very quickly to where it says what disciplines are eligible for this grant. The ones you would expect: craft, design, composers, visual art, but theater and performance, which includes magicians, balloon performers, makeup as well. So really, if you're using Manager Sal, if you're coming to balloon conventions, face painting conventions, magic conventions, puppet conventions, you qualify for this. And it looks like, John, tell me if I'm correct, that these are $5,000 grants.
Yep, these are $5,000 grants, so you don't have to pay them back.
Yes.
And they're to support you. You can use them any way you want. You can use them for food, for rent, for electricity, for paying for your mother's utilities, whatever you need. This is essentially to keep you alive for this crisis period. So this is a conglomeration of all of their grants. They put them together. They diced them into $5,000. It's not up to $5,000. It is $5,000. Go ahead.
Yes. So currently, as we're recording this, the application process is frozen because there's a lot of submissions, but don't let that stop you. What they're doing is they're having everybody apply in chunks of time. So right now, cycle 1 goes until April 23rd. And then it stops, and then there's another couple weeks where you can apply. So if you apply for this grant and you don't get it, then you wait until April 24th, and then you apply again. And in the process, they say, tell us that you are a working artist, and then explain to us how the COVID-19 circumstances has given you dire financial straits. So things like, I need to pay rent, I need to eat, I need to function, I have hospital bills. And right now you might be okay. We don't know how long this pandemic is going to go on. So your circumstances may change. So if you get rejected, bookmark this and come back.
Yeah.
And John, how long did this application take you to fill out?
5 minutes.
Yeah. Did you get a grant?
It takes 1.5 to 2 weeks to be notified.
Worth 5 minutes of your time.
So sure. April 8th to the 23rd. That's the submission time. On the 23rd, it closes, and they let you know within a week, essentially, if you have been granted the $5,000. Meanwhile, the second cycle, as Todd said, starts up and goes. How easy this is. This is putting in your name. It's putting in your email address, and they're going to mail you a check, or you can put it into your bank account. And geez, I mean, it was so super easy. The only other suggestion is there's only everything is applicable. You know, essentially just clicking that you are eligible based on these criteria. All you're doing is filling in the boxes. There's 2 places where you can write up to 300 words. You just write a little blurb. I this is acceptable. Then what I want you to do is I want you to copy that and paste it into a Word document or paste it into a text. And then the second one, which is why, what you do and how you are an artist and your accolades and such. Write about that. Seriously, it could be, I have been at my church and taught art programs. I've been to the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, taught art programs. I've been to 32 different countries doing installs. Whatever it is that you're doing. I've done magic on the Great Wall. Write that. Copy and paste it. This way, as Todd said, when cycle 2 opens, cycle 3, 4, and 5 open, copy and paste, copy and paste. It takes you less than 5 minutes.
Yep. And also that work is going to be useful for some of the other grants that we're going to talk about in a second that you're going to have to find for yourself. So why don't let's pop over to that, the Americans for the Arts.
Sure.
Yeah. So when you're on americansforthearts.org, they have a listing by topic. And one of the categories is disaster preparedness. And if you click on that, it will drill you down to that list.
Yeah. And this is an extensive list. I mean, it's scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Todd, you can definitely tell them about this.
Sure. So you want to spend a little bit of time on this because this is a long page. And as you get down to the bottom, it talks about some relief information. It starts off with federal relief, where they have a discussion of the CARES Act, and then it has the links to the SBA page that we were just talking about, where you can fill that out, opportunities for small businesses. But as you go down, it gets a little bit more specific. For example, there's Actors Fund. If you're an actor, you're a member of the Equity Association and the guilds. If you're in Dallas, Texas, there's a special resource for short-term relief for Dallas artists. There's one for Denver artists. There's some for people in New York, Latino artists. So obviously we can't go through this in any discussion because it's particular to individual people. Spokane, San Francisco, and then it continues to go down, and you just want to spend some time and find links that are relevant to your business, your area, and just apply for them. So this is a really good compilation of things that could really help you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's money, and it's money for you. So yeah, seriously, it's everything. It's like Shreveport, Louisiana. Okay, so last item that we wanted to bring up to your attention, that's the CARES Act resource for performers. That's my own title, which I used to send. This can be found on, okay, so yeah, so you're going to click on resources. And resources has a number of items here. So the CARES Act table. There's several other ones there. They're awesome to read, but you want to click on CARES Act table of loan. Yep. You got it up. No, see, like Todd wants to take care of you. He wants to make sure that you know every conceivable way of getting the resources you need. Oop, I'm at 10% battery, so I'm going. So I'm gonna start it off at the top. Todd will take you down the correct table. I'll grab that charger. So. For us, we're going to pretend for most of us, individual professional artists. That's the second to last column. We're going to go down, and you're going to be able to look the IRS recovery rebate programs. Pretty much everybody who's an individual goes for that. Pandemic unemployment compensation. That's close to the PPP. That's $600 a week for 39 weeks.
Yep.
39 weeks. So can you take them down the next page or talk about that, or go down the next page? I'm going to grab a charger.
Sure. So on this chart, just go down and look at all of the different opportunities and see what resonates with you and see what you can apply for. And you'll see some of the same things that we talked about. Here is the SBA loans. There's several different SBA loans. Some of it apply to us, some of it don't apply to us. But this is a really good way to not waste your time looking at things that are not useful. All right. Welcome back.
We are good. So so go down them and take a look at all of them.
Just scroll down briefly.
Sure. So we did the first page. Pandemic unemployment, that's the PPP. That's $600 a week. Go for it. Do it. $600 a week. $600 a week, man. And so here we go. So then we're on page 2 of 6. Self-employed individuals may delay payment of 50% of the tax on self-employment income. So you don't have to pay, because this is considered income. You're going to have to pay taxes on it, just like regular stuff. But you can defer by 50% in 2020 and 2022. So not only are you getting some money coming in, it's also the taxes you'll have to pay on it will be deferred. Okay, so number 3 of 6 is one of the important ones to take a look at. Expanded for the first time for the 1099 independent contractors. That's us. That includes variety entertainers. A lot of the times we're not considered artists. Being a juggler, being a stilt walker, being a magician, a face painter, we're not considered being artists. Well, if you got a 1099, this bypasses a lot of those grant restrictions on things. This is essentially, if you have a 1099, or if you're a subcontractor, if somebody else hires you for gigs and such, this is you. We're going to skip the loan amount because that's for everything else. As long as you make it, so if you make under $100,000 a year, or the loan that you can take is underneath $100,000 a year, again, you need to talk to your own lawyer, your own accountant, and all this stuff. The loan term is 4% interest for up to 10 years. Okay, 4% is not cheap, but I mean, it's not as bad as a credit card. It's not as bad as a payday loan. It's not as bad as a car loan, anything like that. 4% is pretty darn good. That's as good as you're going to get on a house if you have decent credit. So 4% interest up for 10 years. The first 6 to 12 months of the payment are deferred. So for the first half year to year, you don't have to pay on that loan. Yep. The entire loan is forgiven by the federal government if you use at least 75% of the loan for income and benefits, and a maximum of 25% of the loan for overhead. Holy shamoly. The federal government is going to forgive at least 75% of your loan if you use it as you would use normal income for rent, housing, food. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, why would you not do this? So to get these kind of loans and this loan, you are actually going to go directly to your bank. Okay, your bank knows all about this program. You can also bring in this table and say, hey, this is what I want to get into. And so starting on April 10th, which is actually
today,
very soon, today, starting April 10th, you're going to call, you're going to go online, you're going to go in and wave through the glass at your bankers. These are the programs that you can start working. The way that I understand it to work, please correct us, and also get your lawyers to correct us in a peaceful way, is that you are going to go to your bank. Your bank knows the programs. The bank is going to take the programs through and is going to go through the CARES Act to get you these great loans. I believe the bank is the one who's going to front the money. The U.S. government is the one who's going to back it and support it and help you off. And they're going to be the ones that are negotiating all the terms for you. So you're getting a great loan because of the United States government having negotiated it through the CARES Act. So, Todd, anything else on that page?
Nope. Let's quickly move on. We already talked about the next page, where you can get the loan. The first $10,000 do not have to be repaid. That's the application that you said only took 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Then there's a lot of things that are not eligible, that we're not eligible for. Some of the local grants we spoke about. There's the whole page on the American Artists where there's lots of links to different grants. And then moving on. Oh, yeah, this is actually the link to the American for the Arts chart that we discussed.
Yep.
So that brings us to the end.
Yep.
Really, what John and I want to say is, while everything is unknown and people are panicking, my kid's panicking, my neighbors are panicking, our business is completely gone. There are resources for you to stay in business and thrive when this is all over. We have no idea when live events are going to come back. We have no idea how you can transfer what you do now to virtual events, or even if that's possible. But while that's happening, there's definitely grants and resources to get by. And we're just hoping that everybody does the best that they can.
So yeah, Todd, I want to say thank you to you for everything that you do for all of the industries and how you take care of everybody. Thank you very much for making this all possible.
Yeah, and John, I want to thank you for doing all the research and connecting us with all these arts organizations that really have a high level of professionalism.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself, reach out to John. John, they find you on Instagram, you said?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram. It's John Watkins himself, all one word. But I'm also going to keep, I'll feed links to Todd so he can put it on the correct websites, or, Manager Sal, I guess, or whatever you're going to do. So I'll be feeding links as I'm getting them from the cultural arts boards, and we'll keep you up. So keep in touch. Follow Todd, follow Manager Sal, and you'll be up to date on all the resources that are available for you.
Great. Thanks. Have a good day, John.
Be safe.